When Sandy hit, the infrastructure was destroyed throughout the complex. The exhibits themselves were severely impacted. You know, many of the exhibits were completely destroyed. The tanks themselves, many of them had significant damage, but we could work with a lot of what was available. But at the end of the day, you were talking about a facility that was on the brink of disaster. Amazingly, awesome. We opened up a portion of the aquarium literally within months. We were able to build about 40% of the infrastructure, and the footprint was able to open by Memorial Day of 13. We were able to build and reopen the rest July 1st of this year. It took us 10 years. But now you can come through this aquarium and have an incredible experience. We have over 11,000 specimens here, over 400 species. You know, they all have different needs, different life support systems that we need to make sure are here. And FEMA was able to work with us to deal with the complexity of running an aquarium. You know, at the end of the day, this is a lot harder than rebuilding a building or rebuilding a power plant. In some respects, this is probably one of the most difficult and complex projects that FEMA had to work on.
In the repair of the aquarium, one of the things that they really had to deal with is you can't run out to Home Depot and get the supplies you need. You can't let any of that infrastructure be offline because you're keeping animals alive. If they don't keep the chemicals just right, the balance just right in those tanks, if they don't keep the oxygenation going, you run the risk of animals, you know, in some cases, rare animals dying.
We came back and our mammals, our penguins, they were all fine. They were here. They were like, "Where'd you go?" They were in such great shape and they were excited to see us.
The New York City Aquarium that FEMA funded with public assistance funding to bring that back to its original state and make it better. So those kinds of things are, I'd say, the most visible. Anything that's parkland or park related is what the public sees and what they can enjoy post Sandy.
Now that I have a 3-year-old son, it's really important for their development and their learning experience about aquatic animals, marine biology. I think it's fantastic for families to come out and explore Coney Island.
I think a lot of those, what I would call support infrastructure, the more the entertainment, enjoyment that the general public has, they're paramount to a recovery because it gives people a sense of normalcy. You are bringing back their routine lives that they had prior to the event. So the expeditious recovery of that sort of infrastructure really does help people cope and feel like they're back.
And what you see now is this amazingly happy place where we're able to bring people back. We're able to educate people on the impact of our natural world, what we're doing to our natural world right now. And it's part of the fabric of New York.